In this video, I'm going to show you how to organize data into a frequency table. The first thing you need to understand is, well, what type of data do you have? So here I've got 30 students' responses to how many people live in their household. I can see the data is discrete, so I'm dealing with whole number values. Now that's important to understand how I'm going to represent it as a graph. So in order to set it up, I need to pretty much think of a more organized way. So I'm going to do this as a frequency table. Here I've got the number, so I'll use NO, of people. You can write it living in the house if you like. I'm just going to hurry this along. Next thing you'd usually write is the frequency, but because I need to organize it, I need a tally so I don't forget or miss any of the information. And then finally, the summary of the tally is called a frequency. How frequently does this number come up? So this is your data, and that's really important to understand. I'm going to need quite big tables. I'm probably going to go right down to the bottom. The lowest number I have here is 2, and the biggest number I have is 8. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you probably want to have this on some kind of line paper so you don't get messed up, but hopefully I can cope. So I'm just going to go through and tick off every time. So a 4 appears, so I'll put a tally there. A 5 appears, another one there. 6 appears there, and so on. So you can see I'm just going to keep crossing off the data and fill it in. I'll do that now. Just pause the video and you'll see it completed in a moment. Voila. So the reason I've put a cross through here, when you do a tally, it's easy to count up if you do it in 5. So when you reach 4 lines down, 4 tallies, the 5th one, you put a line across. Now it's easy for me to summarize those and write what the frequency is. So I can see my frequency here is 3. 3 people say they have 2 people living in their home. This is 5. This one's 9, 7, 4, 1, and 1. Okay. Now the last part, obviously, for the frequency is to find out, just to double check you got all the right number of people. So we're going to add it up. So I've got 16, 20, 28, 29, 30. So we have a total of 30 people's information, and they have given us the data on how many people were living in their home. Now from this table, we can say some things. For example, the most popular, or the mode, we can see 4 is the most popular number of people to have living in your home. We can look at the least common, the least one. It's less likely that you come across someone of a random sample that have 8 people in their home. Because of our sample, only 1 person had 8 people living in their home. We can draw a bar chart here, or a histogram. Because we're dealing with numerical data, you can draw a histogram of discrete or continuous data. This is discrete. Now, you can also do a tally table. You can organize it. If you're dealing with a large amount of data and you've got, say, 100 pieces of data, sometimes this tally isn't the best option with single options to put a tally by. Often we do grouped data. So I'm now going to show you a grouped table and how we do the frequency for that. All right, so I've written some data here. This could be temperatures at the same time at each month of the year, for example, for a particular place. Now, temperature is continuous data, so obviously that has repercussions for what kind of graphical representation we can do. However, we still need to organize the data. So what I'm going to do, we don't have any information about the months or anything like that. All we've got is the temperatures, right? So our data is the temperature. But what we're going to do is group the data. I'm just going to write temp, degrees Celsius. And I'm still going to do a tally because remember this is about organizing, and then frequency. Now, I'm going to do groupings and then decide which ones. Now, I get to decide the groupings. My lowest number is 1.8 and my highest number is 32.6. So, one of the things I could do, and I need to have the groupings equal, I would start at perhaps 0 to under 10. Might be my first grouping. You'd need to make decisions. 10 to under 20, and then 20 to under 30. Notice how I'm using this under, so it's the less than. It's got to be less than 10. So if I have 10 exactly, it goes in this grouping here. All right, so now I'm just going to go through and do the same thing. So 19.1 belongs in here. 26.3 belongs in here. 18.4 belongs here, and so on, 23.1. And again, I'm going to stop the video and then you'll have the whole thing completed, like so. So you just continue to fill it in. Excellent. Now what you'll notice is when I was doing the tallies, I actually forgot to put the highest group. I forgot 32 wouldn't fit here, so then I just added one on the end of my table, and that's perfectly okay. Now, I could make some assumptions here dealing with temperature. You say that most of the time, if this was done over the year, most of the time the temperature is somewhere between 20 and 30 degrees. This would be the mode, because if we look at the frequency, 0 to 10 degrees occurred twice, 10 to 20 occurred twice, 20 to 30 occurred 10 times, and then over 30 occurred once. Now this was obviously done over a period of 15 months, so not even a whole year. We don't have enough information to make assumptions at this stage, but we do have enough to organize it into a frequency table to then go on and use our other skills. And that's pretty much how you organize data into a frequency table.